Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing way too close to the camera because I don't know what I'm doing. If you could just tilt it up just a tad, that'd be great. Hi, John, missed you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Night Run. I'm Dion McElrath. That's Jammer the band in the back, doing the thing, doing the Lord's work. Got a lot of stuff to talk about here at the top of the program, so we're going to go ahead and get right to it. St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, so for you professional alcoholics, our day of reckoning is here. I don't know about you guys, but I'll be at Toxic Brew at 4 o'clock. Don't judge me. Shut up. Oh man, second round of stimulus checks has passed, and as you know, it's looking very 31-day tag-ish around here, and everyone's going to Red Lobster and ordering the whole whale. I hate it here. Where's mine, Joseph? Quit playing with my money. Senators Chuck Schumer and Gillibrand has called for Andrew Cuomo, New York's pretty boy with a huge ego bigger than his IQ score, for him to resign after a swath of sexual assault cases. Somebody needs to help that man. He's hurting right now. At this point, I'm going to run for New York governor, because if he can do it, who can't? Netflix has the audacity to test out a feature that would basically crack down on folks sharing their password with people. You're charging $14.99 to only use 4 screens in the house, and you have the nerve to tell me that I need a verification to use my friend's Netflix account for, at best, mediocre programs that all hit the same drum line. They're terrible, the actors are terrible, and nobody fits the plot. Okay. Oh, boy, Netflix. If Paramount Plus would hurry up and quit playing with us, that'd be great. Recently, on the 1st of March, Ohio celebrated its 218th birthday. Yes, we were born at the first of the month, so this state has always woken up and chosen violence. And the city of Dayton was founded on April 1st, 1796, and was actually incorporated before Ohio became a state. So apparently we've been the joke all along. We are the meme capital of the United States. We got a lot of great show planned for you. We got a new top 8 list of top 8 facts you didn't know about the city of Dayton. We also got the man behind the Post talk show, Terry the Voice Matthews, tattoo artiste Cody Petkus, the Gem City Jesus, Fred Kirby III, and Gem City Social Sports. Jammer the band is back there doing the Lord's work. When we come back, the top 8 is emerging. Won't you be my neighbor and re-emerge to the program? We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Nancy Bernatitis, the founder and executive director of Good Works Farm Incorporated. With me today is Sue Combs, our board secretary and photographer. We want to thank DATV for giving us an opportunity to tell you a little bit about us. Good Works Farm is a nonprofit farmstead community of differently abled farmers founded in 2012 by my husband Bob and myself. When we started Good Works Farm, our focus was very narrow, our own son Sam, who has autism. We simply wanted a safe place for him to live as an adult, meaningful work to do, and a community of support around him when we're no longer here to care for him. Our focus now is supporting Sam and the other 1 in 6 people living with a developmental disability in the U.S. In 2015, we began offering summer day camp for children, adolescents, and adults with a developmental disability and their typical siblings. For many, this was the first time ever attending camp, and none had ever attended camp with their siblings. At camp, we encourage independence and assume competency from everyone. Our learning activities include gardening, animal care, music, fishing, games, woodworking, and art. We also support the sensory and communication needs of our campers and provide buddies to those who need one-to-one assistance to be successful. Sue's nephew, Brady, has been one of our beloved campers since 2016. Sue, would you tell us a little bit about Brady's camp experience?
I saw Brady go from being in tears, refusing to try anything, to smiling, happy, and willing to do anything, all because of the devotion and love of the volunteers.
Yes, we have the most amazing volunteers. And as our official photographer, what have you witnessed from behind the camera?
Through the lens of my camera, I am able to watch the campers and staff intermingle without them knowing, and it's a joy to see the compassion, the love, and the trust there. I see lives being changed every day at camp.
We hear that all the time from our families, that our camp is changing lives. One parent said, "Your efforts at creating a place where he feels at home brings joy to us." Another parent reported that following the first day of camp, her son came home and proudly proclaimed, "I have found my people." Volunteer and sibling lives are being changed as well. One of our volunteer siblings had this to say, "I loved camp, and I loved the attitude everyone had toward the campers. Having a sister that has special needs can sometimes give you weird looks, but at camp everyone was so devoted to the campers it was amazing. Thank you for all the effort you put into the campers, and thank you for allowing me to help." Camp is just one component of our overall strategic plan, however. Within the next year or so, we plan to add transportation and day services for adults with disabilities, and our long-range goals include mixed-use residential housing. We are an all-volunteer organization, and we need help to bring our farm to life. If you're interested in more information about Good Works Farm, you want to help, or you want to make a donation, please visit us at goodworksfarm.org. Thanks again to DATV for this opportunity, and thank you for taking the time to listen. God bless.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Right here in my hand is the top 8 list. Our sources for the top 8 list would be the Dayton Unknown blog and the Dayton Daily News. So these are top 8 facts you probably did not know about the city of Dayton that we call home. That is the best city in Ohio. I said what I said. We're not here to argue. I only have an hour. So number 8, Dayton was founded on April Fool's Day of 1796. Nice. Number 7, Dayton is home to Ohio's official rock song, Hang On Sloopy. What the hell is that?
What, Hang On Sloopy?
Never heard of that song.
It's that, how's it go?
I don't know, the Ohio State marching.
Yeah, the OSU band plays it all the time, so do a bunch of high school bands.
Is that real? That's from Dayton?
I guess, yeah, believe it or not, I've never heard of this song until I did this list about an hour ago.
It's mid.
Yeah, mid-generous.
Like, I feel very uncultured because I feel like I should know this.
I probably should. It's pretty popular.
and then,
Higher when you should.
and then I feel dumb because for the longest I thought it was Snoopy. I'm like, what the hell does Snoopy have to do with anything? So obviously, not only am I dyslexic and I can't read, but I'm also uncultured. So yeah, this show's in a downward spiral. It's only a matter of time. Number 6, Dayton actually was founded 7 years before Ohio became a state. I don't even know where they do. We're so ghetto. We don't even have a state. We just pick land. We put out the natives. This is Dayton, guys. Oh, man. We was Cash Money Records coming in for the 99s and 2000s. That's what we were doing. Bingo. You love to see it, folks. Number 5, Dayton was named after a New Jersey congressman. That is probably the biggest insult ever. Why? Jonathan Dayton was from New Jersey.
Johnny Dayton.
I hate that.
Oh, boy. Don't ever do that again. Number 4, Dayton is Ohio's 6th largest city. Obviously, number 1 is Columbus. Hopefully, you guys knew that. Yeah, they're almost pushing 1 million. Like, they're deep. Number 3, Speedwell Motor Car Company made cars in Moraine for 7 years and created the term sedan. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that?
I haven't heard the word sedan in like 4 years.
4 doors are great. If you're tall, sedans are great. Now, if you're big and tall, then maybe a Tahoe or a Suburban is the vehicle for you.
A crossover.
He's like, you want room, but you want speed. Big J pulling in the cut. Number 2, the Dayton Dragons, who's been playing in downtown Dayton for 21 years, set a record in the MLB for the most consecutive sellout games. We love our Dragons. And number 1, the oldest Ohio HBCU in the HBCU period, Wilberforce University is in the Dayton area. I did not know that.
It's like on the other side of Xenia, I think.
Yeah.
But like, we'll take Xenia.
I mean, I guess they claim it as the greater Dayton area. I don't know. I really don't know. Huh. Do we really want to associate with Xenia, though? That's the $1 million question.
It's alright.
They're a little bit too close to Springfield for me in Springfield. That's the ghetto. That is the ghetto. All right, well then there was your top 8 list that was poorly put together on an index card. I promise we're gonna get a bigger budget next year, and we're gonna use our stimulus if Joseph R. Biden would quit playing with us, and we will actually get them on professional printed cards. When we come back, the Gem City Jesus is at the desk. Y'all be cool. We'll be right back.
The YWCA Dayton is on a mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. Since 1870, YWCA Dayton has protected and advocated for some of our community's most vulnerable individuals, including battered women and their children, victims of sexual assault and human trafficking, women at risk of homelessness, and girls in marginalized populations. These services are offered free of charge, regardless of race, health, or background. The YWCA Dayton provides the only domestic violence shelters in Montgomery and Preble counties, offering a full safety net of trauma-informed crisis support services. This includes the Miami Valley's longest-running 24/7 crisis and domestic violence hotline, 937-222-SAFE. The YWCA operates 4 housing programs that help stabilize and shelter women at various ages and stages, from those exiting our domestic violence shelters to women who have experienced chronic homelessness and trauma. All of our housing programs provide wraparound support to strengthen life skills, secure employment, and develop a network of supportive and empowering relationships. Likewise, we host a signature youth development program called Girls Lead, which encourages, motivates, and empowers all girls to develop holistically with strength, courage, and wisdom. Likewise, it offers a safe place for girls to express themselves, instills a love of learning, and helps counter stereotypes that build skills and self-confidence for healthy, successful futures. In 1893, the YWCA Dayton became the first YWCA in the United States to open a branch for African American women and girls, and this marked the start of more than a century of work for racial justice and equality, with a particular focus on the intersections of race, gender, and poverty within our own community. Today, we advocate for public policy and legislation that supports racial and social justice and elevates these tough but necessary conversations. At our core, our mission is simple: to preserve and restore the dignity of all women and children. To learn more about our critical work, please visit us at ywcadayton.org.
How long do we plan? I feel like just once. Okay, that makes sense.
Fair enough. Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Right here at the desk is the Gem City Jesus. What's going on, player?
Mr. Dion, how you doing, brother?
Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So what is happening? How did you get the term Gem City Jesus? Because that's just pretty much badass. Let's just go ahead and get that off the rip.
Super. I'm not extremely religious, so like I didn't really care to just take the Jesus moniker and run with it.
It just so happened to pop up.
Yeah, I didn't really seem so blasphemous.
So born and raised in Dayton.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And you grew up on north side Main Street, right?
Mm-hmm. Right off North Main Street.
All right. And let's see, you're 30, mid-30s?
Yep, 36. I'll be 37 in a few months. Old man, be 40 soon.
But you don't look mid-30s. So this is a lesson, kids. When you're not toxic, you age well.
Or just growing up with trauma.
That too. That.
Get that out of the way early. You'll age better.
Yeah, trauma does the trick. So tell us a little bit about you, your backstory, all that good stuff.
What do you want to know? Like, well, but my backstory is chaos.
Well, you know,
What are we gonna do? We wanna
besides
talk
the
about
trauma.
mom, or we want to talk about podcasting, or
Let's go for the podcast. Let's go for the positive, and then we'll just slowly dabble in the trauma like we usually do because we're messy on this show. We love trauma.
all right. Okay, so the 2 active podcasts I got going right now are MMA podcasts. So you're familiar with mixed martial arts, the UFC, that sort of vibe, fighting.
Yeah.
you think? A little bit? No.
Yeah, I watch a little bit. I ain't gonna pay for no pay-per-view events. I'll go to somebody's house, but
Okay. But you're familiar
Yeah.
with. I've always been a fan of combat sports. I was a big Mike Tyson fan growing up. Bruce Lee. I wanted to be a ninja and shit. Like that was always my vibe. So I was always a big fan of the UFC, and I had my first kid when I was like 20, and that was right when the UFC started blowing up a little bit. So it sort of became a big thing to come over to my house once a month, because now there's like 3 events a month, whatever. But back in the day, it was like 1 pay-per-view a month. And when I first had my kid, that would be the like one time of the month we could kind of kick it. I'd have all my friends over, we'd party, we'd watch the event.
Right.
So it became a big deal to me. Fast forward a few years, and I started playing around on the internet. I'm an old man, so I got a Twitter. And I was watching the fights, and some dude hit me up and wanted me to write for a website. It's like the 3rd event, I'm doing my recap, I'm writing, and it sucks so bad, because I'm good verbally, but I just don't write very well. I can't express myself through writing. The 3rd thing I did was I got an email from him. He's using a lot of the same words. It's not written very well. Come to find out, he was like a junior in high school. You know, I was a dick or nothing, but I was kind of like, I don't need this abuse. I'm not about to have this young man, correcting my grammar. I'm like, I quit, Jack. And then, but I also found out about podcasts at that point. Like, literally at that point, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, you can like sort of do this, but just talk about the fights and do it on, like YouTube or whatever. And that's when that changed, man. I was like, all right, that's what I need to be doing. Like, I ain't built for writing, but I can do this podcast thing. Plus, I got like a deep voice. I always get the whole "do you do radio," which kind of sucks because I don't get radio. Like, I've never gotten 2 nickels for my voice, so it's a bummer. But that's cool. I'm trying podcast.
You trying? Hey, it's a start.
Radio shows and stuff. Here we go.
I mean, if Howard Stern has a show and he's not interested, you're obviously interested, so you should have one.
I mean, that's the plan. That's why I'm here.
Are we
looking at that camera?
Yes.
Timing, baby. Come on. Anyway, I will endorse. I said this before. Not to get it too political or nothing, but I'm not really a major Trump guy. Let me tell you something, Jack. If Trump would have hit me up, I'd have his red hat on right now. I'd be wearing a shirt that says Trump. I will endorse anything for some money. I'm still broke. So.
Hey, a dollar is always a dollar.
Roscoe's chicken, I don't care.
You don't care.
You give me some money, I will support your brand.
Oh, man. So any special projects you got going on, or any projects that were your favorite over the years that stood out to you?
Okay, so yeah, the MMA thing is like a passion project. I'm just a huge fan of the fights. But another thing that is a massive passion of mine is Dayton. But I also grew up in Dayton, and I really love the city. So a couple years ago, me and my 2 best friends started this podcast called the Gym City Jesus Podcast. Essentially this, I had a live band and all the fancy cameras and stuff, but it was basically just, we would have local artists and comedians from the city come on, and I would interview them. We tried to do the podcast. That was one of the podcasts that I probably had the most fun on, and felt like I was doing the best work. I felt like I was actually sort of putting the city on a little bit. But one of my best friends, and it's sort of a bit sad, but he was going through a divorce breakup at the time, so he was staying downtown. He had this little studio apartment. We had the podcast set up. And he was right by downtown. We'd get a little taste at the Oregon and then go record the pod. It was great. But then he got back with his wife, so he had to move out. So it was a catch-22.
Yeah.
I was happy that he was getting back with his wife, but I was bummed that the podcast was coming to an end because I've got 2 little stank-ass kids. I can't record in my house. He's got kids that are like 32 or something. Gary, shout out to Gary Coach, that's my man. And my other brother, James Searles. We all got kids, so none of us could do it at our house. So it just sort of had to come to an end. But that is what I do want to do ultimately again. That's what I enjoy doing the most, things like this. And I would really like to put on for Dayton. Now, we were talking before we went live, or whatever this is here now. There's actually a lot of talent in Dayton now, man. There's a lot of really talented artists, talented rappers.
Dayton is slept on.
It really is.
It really is. Like, Dayton is so slept on, it irks me.
Listen, I'll tell you, it didn't used to be. I'll be straight up with you. Dayton used to be trash. When I was growing up, everybody wanted to be a rapper, and my friends sucked. We were not good. There was not a lot of talent. Dayton was trash. It was filled with drugs. It was dangerous. Dayton in the 90s was not exactly what it is now. But to be fair, now there is some talent in the city. There are really good artists. Like I said, people are fancy breweries, and there's Toxic Brewery. There wasn't no craft breweries downtown in Dayton in the 90s. Nobody knew what a craft brew was. Weed's legal now. It's lit. I mean, it's amazing in Dayton now.
It really
It's a
is.
cool place, it really is.
Dayton in the 90s was that renegade teenager that decided to turn to the streets, and then it grew up and it basically did the thing that McDonald's did, how it looked like a playful child and it grew up into a depressed adult.
Well, to be fair, on a real note, the problem with Dayton in the 90s was crack. Crack hit us really hard too, and it really affected Dayton, like hit us hard. And that's what really sort of like overlapped in Dayton.
That was the punch in the gut right there.
It really was, man, it really was.
But that's a story for another time.
That's one of the problems with this. Everything starts getting a little more expensive.
Yeah, now everybody from the suburbs like, oh, Dayton's nice. Like, sis, stay up there.
Exactly.
So do you have like a favorite spot in Dayton? Like some people have like a favorite place or a favorite thing about the city. What's yours?
Man, I am a hungry donkey, so the first thing I think about is food. Roosters on North Main Street. It's dangerous. It's so dangerous.
It's always the sketchiest spots that have the best food.
Side note, I do a MMA podcast right now with my homeboy Kyle out in Oakwood. And I go out there every Sunday to record with him. And one day I was out there with him, and there's a gas station right there, Valero, or I don't know what the hell it is, BP or something. And he's like, hey man, have you tried the fried chicken from that gas station? I'm like, no.
Hey,
fried chicken.
gas station chicken is slept on.
Tell you something,
my
Jack.
man.
I'm like, no. And he's like, go try it. It's called the crispy, crunchy chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Which is eerily similar to KKK, but fair enough. So the logo's weird, but crispy, crunchy chicken. It's served at gas stations, and on God, it's some of the best chicken in the city. They get the chicken tenders. They marinate them in buttermilk and hot sauce, so when you eat them, it's like they got the juicy little redness coming out. Delicious.
Absolutely delicious.
The Roosters. That's what I think
Yeah.
about. Not like that's my favorite spot again. It was so dangerous. They used to be open till like 2:30 in the morning.
They used
when I was
to.
Younger, and then it got so bad that they like shut it down to midnight. And now I think it's open to like 5:30. When it starts getting dark outside, Roosters it closes thin. That's it. But they've got some of the actually, and I like to travel. I've had wings in Toronto, down south. That's probably the best chicken wings I've ever had in my life. All over the Roosters on North Main.
They really do cut everything
fire.
off. 5 o'clock, as soon as everybody start heading, I'm like, oh no, we're done. We're done.
Though, it would be fine until about 10 or 11.
Once that sun with them street lights
and it would turn into
that
a
liquor,
bar, the booze would get to flowing.
it streams out into the parking lot.
Yep.
Then it makes its way slowly to the street. And then about 2 o'clock, but about next morning when you watching Channel 7, getting ready for work or getting ready for school, such and such has been shot.
Honestly, like real talk, that's what happened. I think somebody got finally. It was always drug deals in the parking lot and carrying on, but I think somebody got shot.
And it finally happened, and that was it.
They actually shut it down, or not shut it down, but they just like cut how late they were open till.
They do have some slapping ass wings though, not gonna lie.
And you know what? Honestly, the food in general in Dayton is low key fire. We got so many good pizza places. Like, I thought about doing just a blog or a vlog, whatever the hell these kids call it, about just the pizza in Dayton. Because there's so many dope spots. You know, I didn't even know Casanos was from Dayton.
I didn't know that either.
Like, Casanos is from Dayton. Like.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Callow, and I'm a member of the advisory board for the Epilepsy Foundation Ohio. Epilepsy is a brain disease where a person has seizures because of an electrical problem in the brain. Anyone who has a brain can get epilepsy. Since 1974, under the name Epilepsy Foundation of Western Ohio, we have served an 11-county area surrounding the greater Dayton region. During that time, we received calls from all over the state asking for our help. That call became too loud to ignore. So, to assure our programs and services are available to all of the more than 126,000 people affected by epilepsy in Ohio, we're excited to announce we've expanded our service area to the entire state, and we've changed our name to Epilepsy Foundation Ohio. Here at the Epilepsy Foundation Ohio, we believe connection is important for those living with epilepsy, whether that's connection to others living with epilepsy, connection to healthcare or community resources, or connection to education and information. To support building these connections, we're developing events throughout this state. These include a new Epilepsy Wellness Expo in Columbus in April and our Ohio Epilepsy Awareness Day at Kings Island in June. We also offer other family support programs and online resources for epilepsy self-management. While we can't mention everything we have to offer, we are committed to serving those in Ohio who live with epilepsy, whether you have it yourself or you are a family member or friend of someone affected. Contact us to see what we may have for you. To learn more about the programs and services at the Epilepsy Foundation Ohio, please visit our website at www.ohioepilepsy.org. That's www.ohioepilepsy.org, or call us at 937-233-2500. And remember, if you live with epilepsy in Ohio, you are not alone.
I had no idea.
No idea.
With Joe's and Marion's, we got all kinds of great pizza in Dayton.
Marion's is all right. Marion's is all right.
Best pizza in Dayton, quickly, what do you think? What's your pick?
Flying pizza.
Flying pizza, okay. Boys? Joe's.
I like flying pizza.
All right.
I worked at Marion's for like 2 years, so I can't do it anymore.
Marion's is probably my favorite though. It's that sausage, that Summerland sausage.
Yeah.
They do that sausage.
Whatever the hell it is, it's great.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
When it's hot.
And you know what? For 2 years, I gave up sausage and beef. You know what? It did nothing for me. I didn't lose a pound.
I think you were more pissed that you left your loves
Yeah.
for health.
I'm reminded of that because honestly, I like chicken a lot more anyway, so giving up the sausage and beef didn't hurt that bad. You know the 2 places that hurt the worst was a 4th of July, not eating a grilled burger, and pizzas. Try eating a pizza with no beef or pork, no pepperoni, no sausage. Damn them pineapples and jalapenos. I mean, it did the trick, but
That sounds pretty good.
I need some meat though. I'm a carnivore.
I feel it. So, obviously, graduated from Dayton Public Schools. I went to DPS. Well, I don't think we went to the same one because I think you went to Van Cleve. I went to Patterson Kennedy, which both of them no longer exist. That was the roughest 4 damn months of my life. It was rough.
Hey, Dayton Public wasn't nothing nice back then.
Oh.
Nothing nice. Have any of y'all ever seen The Wire?
I have not seen The Wire.
Okay.
We kids are very uncultured.
You gotta go watch The Wire immediately. Everybody watching this, all of you immediately, homework, watch The Wire.
I mean, but come back and watch this, but go watch The Wire.
Yeah, immediately. One of the most brilliant series ever written. It's about like urban life in Baltimore, but it's very reminiscent of Dayton. The 4th season follows some kids and they basically go through like the Baltimore school system. And it just reminded me so much of Dayton Public Schools when I went there. And there was one episode where these 2 girls get into a fight and one of the girls cuts the other girl in the face with a box cutter. But what's crazy about that, my freshman year at Belmont, we would all get let in and we would all go to the cafeteria first before the initial bell rang to go to your classes. And some broad cut some broad in the face with a box cutter my freshman year. I just remember seeing the blood and then everybody screaming. I was like, yeah. Dayton Public, right? Now I see when they got those damn metal detectors at the door.
They're like, oh no.
Apparently they don't work. Somebody just got that. Little Belmont.
Oh man. Yeah, it was wow. That's really wow. It was an experience.
Yeah.
Would I repeat it again? Absolutely not. I went back to Northridge so fast. Who knew? I'll take the diet ghetto for 200, Alex.
That's what it is, because Northridge ain't great, but it's better than Dayton Public.
It made leaps and bounds from when I first started going there in like the early 2000s to where we are now. We got a new building with AC. We did not have no damn air conditioning when I went to John H. Morrison Elementary. We had a fan. And it rocked, and it made noise. And if you had that cluster of desks that was under that fan, you had anxiety from 7:30 to 3:30. We did not have, these kids these days are just soft. They're absolutely soft and they're pathetic, and I can't stand them. Back to my show. It has been an absolute gas having you here, man. Please come back. I appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
The Gym City Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, I don't even know who my next guest is, but I'll look at the card somewhere in my drawer and we will figure it out. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
30 to 40 million cats roam our streets in the United States. These community cats do not have an owner, and most were born and have lived their entire lives outside. Often, they're called feral and are closer to wild animals than our domesticated pets. These community cats, if they are not spayed or neutered, can quickly reproduce with 2 cats becoming 30 in just 1 year.
For decades, animal control programs across the U.S. have been catching these cats. They have tried adoption programs, but these feral cats are under-socialized and often unadoptable, which overpopulate shelters. This failure has meant that communities have often turned to catch and kill protocols in order to try to deal with their community cat issues. However, research has shown that catch and kill programs do not work. When the cats are killed, it leaves their territory, your neighborhood, open to attract more feral cats who will continue to fight, continue to spray, continue to reproduce, and continue to be a problem, causing you and your community ongoing emotional and fiscal problems.
Instead of those costly failed programs, SIXA Pet Adoption Center, the animal welfare community, and responsible municipalities across the United States support trap, neuter, return programs, TNR for short. Years of research has shown that TNR saves lives as well as protects your community from becoming a vacuum that is just continually attracting more and more yowling, fighting, and reproducing feral cats to your neighborhood. As a community resource and animal welfare advocate, SIXA Pet Adoption Center is here to help. We have supplies, knowledgeable volunteers and staff who can provide advice and support, as well as medical clinic that performs over 4,000 spay and neuter surgeries a year. Whether you need help or want to help by volunteering or donating to support our life-saving mission, please call, email, or visit our website, sixa.org, for more information.
Remember, TNR saves lives.
Perfect. Welcome back to, shut up. Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Nathan and Kelsey from Gem City Social Sports. We just talked before we came back from the commercial break. It involves alcohol, so this is about to be a great interview. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm glad to be your first talk show.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves, your background, all that good stuff. Were you a poor Russian child during the Chernobyl crisis, or let's learn about your childhood trauma, because that's what we do here on the Night Run.
Well, I'm from Florida, so I've been here about 5 years. Transplant completely. I didn't know a single person except for him when I moved to Dayton. So kind of just hit the ground running. It was weird to have winter. I mean, obviously we don't have winter in Florida. Needed friends, and so we started kickball. We're like, let's do it. So we tried to make it a business. We were both teachers, so I taught high school, he taught middle school, and we were like, we got to make some friends here. So
Middle school, bless your heart.
Yeah, we had 6th graders. all
Jesus
day.
Christ.
he had 6th graders, I had 9th graders.
Oh.
They were horrible.
I don't know which one of y'all got the worst end of the stick.
We had debates almost every night.
We'd come home.
Because you're getting like the brunt of pubescent rage
Oh, yes.
and hormones and acne. And, oh my God, you need a Medal of Freedom or something.
We do not teach anymore for a good reason, obviously. We're like, we can play kickball and dodgeball and drink, or we can go and hang out with 6th and 9th graders all day.
It was a pretty easy choice for us.
It was very easy.
So they woke up and they said, you can have the pension, we're done.
Pretty much. I think I did, what, 2 years? And you did like
4.
Yeah, that was it. That was enough for us.
So you moved up to Florida, from Florida, and you moved here, you taught for 2 years. You said, oh no.
And I said no to teaching before I ever taught. Then I moved up here and needed a job, so, I got through it.
So what district did you guys teach at?
I was at West Carrollton.
So you were at West Carrollton. Were you both at the same district?
No.
No.
I was in Piqua.
Piqua? Oh, well, you were way up the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 years.
He's from this area and went to Wright State and whatnot. We met, he was on vacation in Florida, and we met, and now I live in Ohio. Everyone's like, wait, why would you do that?
That is probably the best Hallmark movie plot I've heard in a long time. You might be on to something.
Yeah.
It could be. But usually I think it's opposite. Like, oh, you go into, fun beach town, and you end up staying on, like, let's just go to Ohio. Let's just move there.
She gave up gator wrestling for potholes
Florida
and
man
craft
like
breweries.
rising, yeah. So he likes to pick fun. Everything always in the news is, Florida man. He's like, aren't you so proud to be from somewhere that's so...
It's all fun and games until it's us in the headlines, and then we ain't got. What are we gonna say? It's always if it's not y'all, it's us, or it might be California because they like to get in on it too.
Yeah. Kentucky sometimes gets some crazy articles.
So tell us about Gym City Social Sports. There's drinking. You have my interest along with the band because we all have a lot of trauma we need to deal with, and we chose alcohol as a vice.
Yeah, haven't we all?
We've been in quarantine for a year. I think we've all
It's been rough.
Mildly inconvenience, it's not that deep.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so Gym City Social Sports, like I said, we play basically playground sports. I am not athletic in any stretch of the imagination, like not at all, but I still play. So beer in hand, out on the fields, we play kickball, t-ball.
Pretty much anything you played in gym class.
Right.
We are down to play. We're just going to add a little bit of alcohol and...
It's more like a little bit of sports, add a little bit of sports, a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Are you trying to kill someone?
No. So basically, we have our league. So you come out, you play your hour-long game, and then we go to an after party afterwards. So we use local bar sponsors, and we do a big after party afterwards. So usually the drinking mostly happens after the athletic activity, but people do drink during play.
So I'm hearing we're forming the Night Run Kickball League. Is that what we're doing?
Starting in April.
So in April, pregame the games.
Yes.
Show up a little buzz already.
Yes, plenty.
I'm like, if we're not rip-roaring buzz, then are we really here to win? The goal is not to get the other team out. The goal is to remember who the other team was. Oh, as long as you guys don't play tetherball, you'll be fine, because that's probably the most brutal playground sport I know.
Yeah, no
Yes.
tetherball. I think
I
the most...
bad memories of those days.
I swallowed a tooth playing Hey, I won though. I won. I swallowed a tooth, but I won.
That's using your head.
Bingo. Oh, my guest is trying to put me out of a job already.
Don't worry. He's not an on-camera person.
Dad jokes are all I got.
Oh, that's what we do here.
Perfect.
Well.
We have a 5-year-old, so we hear lots of dad jokes. Lots of dad jokes.
I have a 1-year-old going on 2, which is going on 20.
20,
So
yeah, 25.
25. She is speed.
I think they all do. I think that's how they get by.
It's nothing funnier than watching their legs do 90, but the top half only do 5 miles an hour. I live for that.
Yes.
Yep, pretty much. We just started gymnastics, and she did. And
Drunk gymnastics, you might be onto something. Ease the pain.
danger. That would be a way. But yeah, it's crazy watching a 5-year-old try to be balanced and do tricks.
You're absolutely horrible.
Oh, so good.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Keep practicing.
Oh, you just let sis fall off these balance beams of what you're horrible. Absolutely horrible. So you formed this league that combines the wonderful art of intoxication and playground sports. What led you to this? Because there's a lot of people that have a lot of great ideas, but this is the first I've ever heard of classic playground sports with alcohol.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, the only thing I ever did was play sports. I played sports for everything. All my major friends were made through sports. So it's so hard to meet people. You go to the bar, what do? You go, hey, can I buy you a drink? That's awkward. But it's so easy just to be like, oh, you're on my team, we're playing kickball? Oh, we're going to the bar after. Hi, I'm Nathan, how are you? It's just an easy way to meet people, and like you said first, we had no friends. We didn't have anybody to hang out with.
Losers.
I mean, Wright State, everybody comes to Dayton, they go to Wright State, and so many of them leave this area and go back home. This way it gave us the ability to go out and meet friends, and now we went from having no friends to really knowing a lot of people across the Dayton area. Very rarely can we go to a bar and not know somebody who's inside, and it's just meeting them through social sports.
It's good to know you and I have the same social anxiety, but yet I'm a talk show host. Ain't that something?
Social company, and I have severe social anxiety about situations like that.
I cannot function with strangers. I really can't.
No, me either.
If I see someone from high school, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I hate it. You're at the gas station. Now, mind you, I don't even, like, mind you, we're so low on gas that I'm at the letter C on the gas gauge. And I see somebody and I'm like, hey, is that Dion? Oh, I don't even need gas no more. That's all right. I'll walk. It's a nice day.
I thought you're supposed to just move to Florida, or move 12 hours away. You move, like, away from everyone you have to deal with, and then, just...
I can't leave my mom. I love my mom.
That's true. I know, my mom's coming next week, but that was hard moving away from her. But it's nice not knowing people when you go, and now you wear a mask, you just...
See, I know, I bet you that first winter you were up here was rough.
Very rough, very rough. And usually I go home for Christmas, and it's always, nice and 80 degrees. This past year was the coldest winter we've had. It was like, I don't know, 30 degrees. I was not happy. I needed my warmth.
Yeah, last winter was one of those winters where you open the door to go start the car and you just say absolutely not and call off.
Yep, calling a sick day.
It's me all winter and I'm not ashamed at all. So where can we find you guys? How do you join the league? I'm so serious, guys. I feel like we should really do the whole Night Run Kickball League.
It'd be a blast. Yeah, for sure.
You're onto something. You're onto something. I feel, and bring them out. We haven't been together for quite some time. That's our next field piece.
Sure. Yeah. For sure. We start, so our kickball league starts April 14th.
Yes.
We play Wednesday nights, 6:30 to 9:30, give or take. And you can sign up by yourself with a group of friends or a full team, and we put you with other people that are, same kind of age, same kind of interests, and then you hopefully, hit it off with them. And a lot of our people, so we started in 2017 and had 86 people, and now we have over 300 for our spring kickball league. So lots of people, lots of
new faces in Dayton that you haven't met yet.
yeah, which is great. So yeah, we have kickball, cornhole, and
Soccer.
starting this year.
Registration open on our website.
Cornhole starts fights.
Our cornhole, so all of our sports are very social. Our probably most competitive sport is cornhole. They are.
I mean,
legit.
once room temperature Jack Daniels sits in, because that's what I drink because I'm a psychopath. Once that sets in, and cornhole is very, very competitive. Like, I've lost friends over games of cornhole. That's why my job got rid of the cornhole out of the vending machine, because someone actually got into it over a game of cornhole. I'm like, well, I think I walked out over corn. It must have been the tournament. But that sounds like a lot of fun. I love alcohol. I like sports somewhat. I'm out of shape now. I'm 23. Most of us are in our 20s. I think Adam's closer to death than any of us. But I think, who is the baby out of all of it? Is it Hoyt? No. If he was here, it would be him.
If Hoyt was here, it'd be him. But right now it's...
Okay, isn't he like, what, 5? 5 or 6? Did he get his big teeth for Christmas? His 2 front teeth?
I think he just turned 20. So.
Oh, bless his heart. Well, welcome to the big 20s club. It sucks here.
Yeah, it's not.
The 20s is, so once you turn 21 and you're legally allowed to walk into a bar and just slap your ID out and say, this is what I want, and you're going to give it to me, and I'm going to destroy my liver, life is over at that point.
You know how much you look for.
I'm gonna be 28 this month. I don't even know how that.
Like, I'm 4 years away from 30, going on 4 years away from. I'm terrified.
He's in his 30s.
I'm scared.
That's how you feel.
I'm scared. Like, the only thing I have to look forward to now is retirement and being able to run for president. And that's one race I'm not going to throw my hat in.
Yeah, I was like, are you planning on running?
No.
I'm like, that's a big
Option, really.
The night run for president.
Night run for president, all of us.
The night run is your, press address kind of thing.
Bingo. This exact desk. This exact desk.
I'm
And
running for president.
me gets Tonight Show in 15 years. We come back home to this tiny studio with an audience of 5 and a church mouse. But it's been a very exciting time having you here. Please come back. We actually do want to start the league. We're not joking, because that sounds like fun. If anyone died, so that's okay.
No deaths yet.
No deaths yet.
Ever, hopefully.
So I mean,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
it just gives us a chance. It gives us the opportunity after taping to just wind down and insult each other with the worst possible names, drunk. But we love each other, but we're going to insult each other terribly while we play cornhole. And as long as blood's not drawn, then that's all that matters.
It's all fun and games.
Thank you so much for coming in, Nate and Kelsey. When we come back, I don't even know what camera I'm looking at. I should know this by now. When we come back from the commercial break, Terry the Voice Matthews will be here at the desk doing the thing, and I will be here doing the Lord's work. So you guys sit tight. We'll be right back.
It costs so little to teach a child to love, and so much to teach him to hate. These simple but profound words from our founder are at the core of each parenting strategy you'll find at boystown.org/parenting.
Teach me respect.
Teach me patience.
Teach me love.
Visit boystown.org/magnet to receive a Teach Love magnet as a reminder that the change we want to see in our world begins at home, and Boys Town is there to help along the way.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Right here is the man behind the Pulse Talk Show. You can find it, obviously, on YouTube and other social media platforms. Terry the Voice Matthews, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it was my pleasure, my pleasure. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your show. Obviously, talk shows come in a lot of different forms. Yours is a more laid-back, freelance kind of, which I do enjoy. I've been catching up on it lately.
I appreciate it.
But tell us a little bit about that, what got you started.
Well, to be completely honest, I'll answer the question of how I got started first. Been hosting a lot of events for 13, 14 years now. Then I had a vision about doing a talk show, but I wanted to do it in a way that talk shows first started. I didn't want to conform to the new age of the podcast and different things of that nature. I wanted a legit talk show. And it started off kind of rough.
Ooh, man.
Doing my talk show, hard to get people out because it's not a party, different things of that nature. And the show was basically to just expose the hidden gems in Dayton, Ohio. No matter what your talent was. It could be singing, rap, poetry, dance, didn't matter what it was. Then I also felt like everybody had a story. So that was the other twist. So all my interviews were based off people's lives, different things they've been through. We've covered love, we covered forgiveness, we've covered pretty much anything that you can think of. And to be honest, that's not something somebody say, oh, I'm willing to go out there and watch that. Now that's something.
Right, you don't see a lot of that on late night.
At home.
Right.
But that's just the dream I had, the passion I had for it, and I just kept going and kept going. And we did get to a point and the crowd became kind of steady, and next thing you know, we got 30, 40, sometimes 50 people in the audience watching, and it was cool. But we wasn't recording at that time. It was just solely based on you come to the show. If you wasn't there, you missed out.
Right.
And that's how we did it. Once Corona hit, switched platforms, and I started doing it all via Facebook. And I noticed that, once again, a lot of people, when they're at home, they're watching more. Here we reach in 1.5 thousand views and 2.000 views and 4,000 views. And I'm like, why they ain't coming to the show? So when Corona kind of slowly started to die down, and I said, well, if everybody going to the club now and they're going to watch sporting events, we can have a talk show. So that's when I kind of went back, brainstormed, and figured out how we can do it. And it just happened that the very first week that I decided that we were going to come back, ran into a guy that was doing some recording, and he said, man, I've been actually looking for you. He said, I've been meaning to get in touch with you. And I'm like, hey, well, what's going on? And he was like, I want to record your show. And I'm like, cool. I mean, that's kind of how I was doing when I was at home. So you're in the vision of what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring it back in person, but record at the same time so that the people that couldn't come would be able to watch it as well. And then let's be honest, I plan on taking it to another level. And I knew the only way that can happen is by people being able to see it. So my goal was to take the shows that were recorded and send them off to production companies, producers, and just see what happens. And then the guy, he works for TV40 WRCX, and he was like, well, man, look, we love your show. We've been watching everything you're doing on Facebook. We want you to do the same exact thing. We're just going to record it and blast it for you. And I'm like, cool, let's do it, man. And that's just kind of how it goes. And there's some politics behind the doors that a lot of people don't know about, of getting sponsorships and different things of that nature, which is what we're still trying to do. So therefore, I don't have to come out of pocket.
Yeah, then you and I are both in the same boat.
Yeah, so, but it's going good, man. I wouldn't change it for the world, to be honest. I'm loving what I'm doing. I wouldn't care if I ever made a dime doing it. I just love doing
It's just a different type of love.
Yes.
Just doing this is just a different type of joy that nothing else really can give you, honestly.
Yeah, and well, I ain't gonna say these teachers these days, but when I was little, we had the teachers that really cared, and they would do it for free. I think I feel like them. I wake up every morning thinking of new ideas of what I can bring to the show, who I can bring on the show, what's next, and I just love doing it. And then show day like today's my recording day. I typically block everything out for that day. I don't like to do much. I like to focus on the show and just, let it come as natural. And like you said, it is very freelance. I don't write questions down before the show. I like it raw. I like the real feel. And it's been working and it works good.
That's exactly how we are here. We're not, the only thing that's scripted is the monologue and the top 8. That is it.
Yeah, and
we just go.
Yeah, it's time to have fun.
There you go.
Whether it's a serious subject or something that's, is funny. Like today's show is going to be a little bit of both that I have. I have a guy that's coming on. He's a comedian, very funny, but he had a health scare within the last few months. And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about how he grew up. We're gonna talk about his health scare, and we're gonna talk about his comedy career. And then the hope is that someone out there sees the funny in this guy and decide, hey, I want to book him. That's the reason why I do my show. It's not for me. Of course, I would love to make it, but when I first started the show, that's what it was based off of. I want to be able to bring on that singer that somebody else is going to notice and say, oh, I want them to sing the national anthem, or I want them to sing at this event, and that's why I do my show.
Now, are you into stand-up comedy? Because that's where we cross paths.
Yeah. So I never saw myself as a comedian.
I never did. Honestly, I never did either.
I was hosting a lot of comedy shows.
Right.
And everybody, man, you need to do your own set. You need to do, you killing it, you funny. Did it, and surprisingly, it had to be nothing but God, because there was no practice. Once again, didn't write a joke down, didn't know what
Unfiltered is the best comedy. Unfiltered,
and I just went
unscripted.
up there and killed the 15-minute set right off the top of my head, having fun. And since then, I just kind of never stopped. So, once again, it can't be nothing but God, because it wasn't me. I feel like it's like that Superman, Clark Kent type of thing, where it's like, I'm an average everyday guy, but you put a mic in my hand and put me on the stage, I turn into somebody completely different. So, I enjoy it.
So tell us about the show. Where can we find you? How often do you tape? Because we tape 2 episodes, well, obviously 1 episode this month, but we usually tape 2 episodes once a month.
Okay. The Pulse Talk Show is recorded every single Saturday. We do it at Third Perk, which is downtown, 146 East 3rd Street. And we normally do like a 2-hour block per se. I always bring some type of performer on the show, whether it's a singer, poet, or something of that nature to go along with the interview. And then it airs 2 Saturdays later. So, for example, I interviewed Miss Kaylin Tiggs, Miss Ohio, that's from Dayton, Ohio, currently living in Cincinnati. Interviewed her 2 weeks ago, and that show is going to air tonight. And it's just a steady rotation. We're going to do, we started saying we were going to do an 8 episode season, but it looked like it's going to be 10 for the first season. And we're going to do a 10 episode season, take a couple weeks off, then come right back and get at it again. It's exciting. Next Saturday, kind of like how you do, we're going to play with it a little bit and record 2 shows in one day. And I like to do that only because you just never know what might happen. We in Dayton, we might get a blizzard next week. So I want to get a couple shows and just record them and have them. Like I said, you just never know what happened in the day. So I just want to make sure that we have productions lined up, and then we can air them. And if we have to take a Saturday off, we can, because we know we got something in the bag to give. So.
Yeah, see, I didn't have a break, because the way we run year round. Like, beginning of the year, we just go. So I had about 2 weeks off. Once COVID got bad, I lost the band, so I was just in here. It was just me and God for the rest of the season. And after that, I had about a week or 2 of vacation in LA. One hell of a story for another time, but good God. And then I got right back to it. So we kind of run like clockwork around here. But I've noticed that your show flowed, but you don't have a desk. And a lot of people associate talk shows with having a desk.
And I didn't want to do a desk because I didn't want to do your typical what everybody was looking for. I wanted it raw. Sometimes, and it's going to happen once the summertime comes, I may do an interview down at Riverscape.
Right, the desk can't be everywhere.
And so therefore, that's what I wanted. I want that real feel. no matter where I am, you're gonna get the same thing every time. So I don't wanna give a production feel of a desk and prompts, and if that's not what I'm gonna do every time. So therefore, since it is real free, you know, you might catch me in a stool, you might catch me in a lounge chair, or you might catch me standing up. Anyway it go, we're gonna give that same energy, the same professionalism, but that's just kind of how I wanted it. I know one day that day is gonna come where I'm gonna have to do a studio, but until then, I'm gonna do it my way and have
Hey,
fun
that's
with
all that
it.
matters. It's your show. You do whatever you want with it. So your shows are 2 hours long, correct?
The show is actually, when it's aired, is only 30 minutes.
So you do a half-hour block.
Yeah, we do a half an hour. We do a half an hour block. We thought that was kind of best. No disrespect to anybody, but we know the attention span of people. So therefore, we want.
Trust me, it's
30-minute
rough
blocks.
trying to create
Yeah.
an hour's worth of content.
Yeah, and but I told him, I said the crazy part about it, before we started doing recordings, we were doing 2-3 hour shows nonstop, no commercial breaks, just straight. Interview one person, clap them off, bring on the next person, no breaks nonstop for 2-3 hours. I said, now that we're actually got a camera there and we're taking commercial breaks, it seems like we lost some time. And it's weird because we're not doing nowhere near as much as we were doing at first. But
It's
now
all
it
about
seems like
being
we're
quick.
losing time. Yeah, everything is quick. And you know, it's funny. A lot of people at TV land is what I like to call it, because they're watching us, is that they don't see the people behind you talking about, and you want me to talk real fast and get done in 5 seconds. And it's cool. I like the challenge. It's fun. I wouldn't change it. But it does bring a different dynamic.
It's a whole day. Like, I think we got it planned. We had it planned from last season before everything went to hell. But we were going to do like a segment of behind the scenes here at the Night Run, because there's so much that goes into throwing together this hour worth of show.
Right.
And it's 40 minutes of content without the commercials in it. It's about 45 minutes. But nobody sees the writing behind the scenes,
Exactly.
the work in the control room, the band doing whatever it is that the band does to piss me off, but I love them. And there's so much that goes
But
into
they was over there jamming.
Oh, they're probably the best band I've ever heard.
They was over there getting it. I was going to dance, but I didn't want to show off. I didn't want to.
That's all right.
do that to
I
them.
have the rhythm of a Chevy HHR. It's okay. But
Hey, but it's your dance. That's all that matters. You know, get loose in your own way.
but it's good to know that I'm not the only one out here, because in the minor leagues of television that I call it, there's very few of us out here that's being noticed.
Yeah.
And the fact that you notice me away from the show on stage doing stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
we work hand in hand, even though you take a different approach and you say, to hell with the norms and whatnot, we're going to do this. And you would honestly give Oprah a run for her money. Your show would give Oprah, because Oprah was boring as hell anyway. She wasn't talking
She
about
got the money though.
But she ain't give me no damn car.
I was hoping one day I was gonna be one of the people, and she was gonna say, "You get a car, and she was gonna point at me.
And she gave you a scratch off. And
I didn't get a scratch off. I got a
Dang.
piece of paper, and it said, "Go doodle over there in the corner." That's all I got.
That's
You know,
disrespectful.
matter of fact, she skipped over me. Okay, but it's coming. Oprah, I still love you. I wouldn't date you anymore, but. No, when we were all little, let's be honest. Everybody looked at Oprah like, I'd date Oprah. I wouldn't date Oprah anymore.
That's
I would
great.
use Oprah for her money, but I wouldn't date her. Yeah, like she could be my sugar mama any day. Like, sign me up. Matter of fact, is there an application to sign up to get a sugar mama from Oprah? That's all I need to know.
That's all you need
If it
to
ain't
know.
out there, Oprah, I hope you watch this. We're gonna send it to you. You know, I don't really care if you're single. Okay, Stedman can come. You know,
That's all right.
You know,
What's happening?
3 of them, 4, 5 of them. It don't matter what it is. Oprah, bring it on.
Quit
As
playing
long as
with
I
me.
get paid, sign the check. Yeah, but seriously though, when you, like you said, we try to be professional as we can be. We try to be funny. We try to do what we can as hosts. And when you get overlooked or unnoticed, it stings, because we study our craft. And I'm gonna tell you a funny thing about it is, all the things that I do, I used to never look at the same thing. So like, if I was singing, I wasn't listening to people sing, because I don't want to sound like you. When I was, called myself rapping, I stopped listening to rap because I didn't want to sound like nobody else. I wanted my own sound. Then when I started doing comedy, I stopped watching stand-up comedy because I did not want to imitate anybody else. Same with acting, because I act. I rarely ever really dive in and watch movies because I don't want to pick up something that's not me. And I realized I haven't made it yet. I'm still struggling. I'm a struggling artist. And I said, well, let me change my approach. And with my talk show, I looked you up. I was able to watch you. There's a guy in Cincinnati, I watched him. And I find myself like, dang, I should have did this a long time ago. Because I'm not imitating anybody, but I am picking little leaves off of each tree that can add to my bush.
You take what works for you and you make it your
And there
own.
it is, you make it your own. So to be able to watch you, then I saw you do your stand-up comedy, and like you said, I knew exactly who you were, because I do my homework, I do my research. And the only way you could be great at anything, it doesn't matter what you do, the band, you could be a TV host, you could be a comedian, you can be a singer. You got to do your homework. This band wouldn't be that good if they didn't practice, if they didn't listen to other bands, listen to the greats,
Lots
listen
of
to
alcohol.
the classics.
Lots of
and
alcohol.
alcohol does it too, because, it allows you to be numb.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember those days, long time ago of like not even remembering what happened the night before, but people said I was funny. And sometimes it's all that matters, I was funny, and when they see me on the street, man, you was killing the stage. I don't remember nothing I said. I remember those days, but now it's weird because I call myself like a vet in the game. Been doing shows for ever, even as a little kid, traveling the world, doing skits. Started
And
about
see,
that.
you had more experience than I would ever have.
Yeah.
Me, I just wanted to do it, and I stayed up past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Mind your business, Mom. But
You'll be all right.
I stayed up
You'll
past.
at least buy her a couch one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy her a
She
couch.
might not get the house. but
Like a
she
lazy
get-
boy section,
she
a real
gonna get a
nice
couch. In the house she already got.
Yeah, in the house. I got you, Mom. But I stayed up late watching everybody, and I was supposed to be well in bed, and that's how I became who I am and why I'm here.
Yeah, and there it goes. And so with me traveling at the age of 8 and 9 around the world doing skits, small skits in front of 30 people, in front of 3,000 people, to be able to do that at an early age and not realize what I was really getting to experience was something. And then now I look back on it now and say, well, that's why now I can get up on any stage because I've done it. I've been there. I've competed. I've done those things. I've won. I've lost. And so now it's just all about having fun. And genuinely, that's how I look at life. That's how I look at my show.
That's how you make it in this business.
Yeah.
That is how. If you don't enjoy what you do and you don't love, and it doesn't frustrate you when this show doesn't go your way because it's your baby, then you're in the long line of work and you don't deserve to be here.
Yeah, you don't be. And you're gonna have some long nights, like for
Sleepless
example,
nights. You're gonna argue with
my
your executive.
last show, I interviewed a guy, and I never thought that topic would have had me doing that much research. He's a chef, but when I digged into his life, found out he's ex-military. He's a father. So now I'm up all night like, okay, how can I bring all three of these elements into one show? How can we talk about his bravery to serve and then talk about having to step out? And one thing I talked about on the show, you went from being told what to do at all times to then becoming a father and having to tell somebody else what to do just in a different way. And it's hard for some people to turn it off.
That adjustment is rough.
And I told him, I said, so we'll salute you for that. I said that now you're a chef. Now you're taking commands from other people all over again. They want a steak and they want it a certain way. You're back in the military all over again. So I really had to really think, and I was up to 2, 3 in the morning, how am I gonna put all this into a 30, and it ain't even 30-minute interview. It's realistically maybe 22 minutes worth of an interview. How can I put 3 different topics all in one? And that's what I spent my whole night doing the night before the show. How am I going to be able to do it? And then they came, and he was like, "What you got for me?" I said, "Nothing. You'll get it when we get up there."
There you go.
I honestly don't know what I'm gonna ask you. I really base it off of their response. If I say, tell me how you grew up, I want to pick something from their story.
And it's an open-ended question, and you just let them take the ball and they run with it.
Yeah, and we go with it. And he loved it, man. He was very surprised of how well it went, and even how well he did, because I put him on the spot. He didn't know what I was going to ask, and so he was a little nervous a little bit. He said, but once we got the flowing, I made him feel comfortable. And those are the things that I look for when I'm doing my show, for my interviewee to be able to say, you made me feel comfortable up there. You making me feel comfortable right now. I think I'm gonna take my shoes off and everything. No, I ain't gonna do it. But it's great, man. I love what you're doing. Please don't stop. Keep it going. Even when you're looking at the views and the views are not what you want them to be,
We'll get there.
Somebody's watching. Even if it's just that one person. That's how I look at it. When I do my show, as long as there's at least one in the crowd, then I'm making a difference because I'm gonna reach that one person.
I appreciate that. Now, what time do you air for those out there in TV land and everybody that's got their face in their galaxies and whatnot?
You can catch the show, and depending on who your subscriber is, but you're going to just make sure you find WRCX TV 40. For my people around in this area, if you're a Spectrum person, that'll be channel 22, and it will air tonight at 8 p.m. They call it their prime time, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So every Saturday, 8 p.m., you'll be able to catch me. And we're just going to keep bringing you great entertainment and great fun, laughter, some serious conversation with some awesome talent and entrepreneurs that we have here in the city of Dayton and surrounding areas. So I'm excited.
I appreciate you for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure. It really has. I look forward to collaborating in the future.
Absolutely.
Best wishes and best regards to all your future successes. Of course, you're welcome back anytime.
I'm coming back.
Yeah, come on back.
I'm coming back.
This is your house. We family.
Yeah, we want to bring somebody else too.
We're gonna bring.
Well,
we tried it like during a test shoot. We tried it with just one. It just looked off, and it just pissed off the Lord.
It makes me feel weird. I feel like I should be right here and be like, "How you doing?"
No.
But nobody's there.
Now, usually, if COVID wasn't a thing, there would be someone there, or we'd have a couch of some sort.
See, I like couches. See, this was cool, but I like couches because I think it's like therapy. I would just lay down.
Just be comfortable.
Yeah, I would do one.
Got the remote and everything.
Yeah, but we ain't got no couch right now, so this gonna have to do. But man, it's awesome. For you guys out there, listen, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna be transparent. Tell a friend, and tell another friend to make sure you guys are starting to tune in to this show. Send it out everywhere, no matter how you get it. Download it from YouTube and send it to somebody else. Send them the link. However you got to do it. And sometimes it doesn't matter how they watch it as long as that they watch it. So whether they watch it on TV, whether they watch it on YouTube, whether they watch it via Facebook, and you got my word now that I'm gonna start sharing. I'm gonna share your show on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page, and it's gonna get to the point where both of us are going to be overwhelmed with the views and the comments and the things that come in because this game right here, like you said, it's overlooked. Don't nobody be like, oh, I want to be a talk show host.
Yeah, everybody want to be a foot. Everybody want to be the next AJ Green or something like that.
So,
everybody want to be in the NBA.
Even if it ain't sports, they want to be Denzel. And then now the younger kids now they want to be Michael B. Jordan. Different things of that nature. And it's like, okay, I ain't heard not one of y'all say a talk show host. Now I'm funny too. I have fun, and it's awesome, So. I still spend time and I sit back and I watch the old Arsenio Hall shows. And
that was our hero. That was the man that made it. Had Jay Leno shaking in his boots.
Man, he was
at Cadillac Jaw didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, at all. But he had to start somewhere. And that's what we can't forget, that you had to start somewhere.
He walked so we could run.
There it is. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't running yet. And I might not, I got arthritis in my right leg, so I might not run. I'm going to do a little gallop or something. But I'm going to get there.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, you sprint it. I'm a jog.
I'm a trot or something.
Yeah, I'm going to let you younger than I am. I probably, got you probably about at least 15 years. But we ain't going to tell our age right now.
Yeah, we ain't going to tell them.
We ain't going to tell nobody else. But, it's an honor, man, to be on your show. It's an honor to be able to continue to do what we do. And like I said, one day, we'll see our name in lights.
There you go.
And I'm going to applaud you the whole way and sit in the audience and watch you do it.
I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. Appreciate it.
That is our show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank my guests, Kelsey and Nate from Gym City Social Sports. Of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Terry the Voice Matthews. And I forgot our first guest. I'm kidding. Fred Kirby III, also known as the Gym City Jesus. I'm Dion McElrath. On one of these cameras is Jammer the Band, the Weirdos with the Talent. Good night, everybody.